Have you checked the children? Your little match
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Howdy folks, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Robert Duell.
Fuego here,
And I'm Marcia Parker.
and we are doing another recent release, at least as far as debuting properly on Shudder. This actually is a film called Anything for Jackson, and this has been floating around since early last year on the festival circuit. I saw it at the virtual Chattanooga Film Festival last April.
Okay.
So that's how long back I saw it. I did revisit a little bit
Almost
of it.
a year.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute now, man. Can you believe so much time has
We should
transpired?
have waited a month and it would have been an anniversary.
Yeah, right.
I know. But this was it was an inventive film, at least for me, as far as the angle of its approach. So it's not quite a possession kind of movie. It's not quite an exorcism movie. It's almost like a reverse sort of situation in
It's
that
more,
regard.
I would say, more so like on the occult side.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
could classify it as that.
It was more on the occult side with your exorcism stuff sprinkled in there.
Yeah, less my jam, that sort of supernatural horror. Marcia, I know you tend to like this variety of the otherworldly, so I'm actually going to kick it to you for overall impressions. I think you're the most recent to watch this, right?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was going to. Like, when I looked at the premise of it, the synopsis of it, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And I, literally kicked it down the road until, Cecil said, no, we're watching this. And I'm like,
we are going to review it.
Hey. And I watched it and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was really cool because, like you said, it was, even though it's a topic that has been done before, they've done it in a new light. It's a reverse exorcism because they're trying to get the person to be possessed, or possess the person. So I thought that was really interesting. And it had some really great actors and actresses in it. All character actors, obviously, but they all did a fantastic job. The cinematography were great. The special effects were really cool.
Yeah, they were. There's a few
there
moments in this.
some
Getcha.
really fun things, and it definitely was refreshing to watch. So I'm glad Cecil held me accountable and made me watch it, because otherwise I wouldn't have. I would have passed it by. But I'm glad I did.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, actually, I ended up coming across this on Shudder and then watching the trailer, and it's like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool. I ended up watching it, and then, Cecil's like, yeah, we're going to do a review for it. Okay, cool. I'll go back and rewatch it again. This was definitely one of those, it was a semi-refreshing kind of spin on, again, like what we were saying, that reverse exorcism with the occult feels, because it's a couple of grandparents who are trying to get their grandson back, and they're dabbling in a bunch of shit that they don't understand. Mm-hmm. And things go loopy really quickly. And there's some really cool, like what Marcia and Fuego was saying earlier, there's some really cool visuals that we get in here, especially with some of the, demons or ghosts, what do you want to call them?
Yeah, I mean,
Ghosts.
presence from another world.
Yeah, ghosts and everything, especially the flossing lady. I'll say
got
that.
Me, man. That
that
felt
was
like something I would have seen in The Conjuring or in, any of the other upper tier sort of haunting occult sort of films.
And don't get me wrong, that's not a spoiler, guys. It's just one little tidbit and everything. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely one of the scenes in this entire movie that really stuck with me and just it got underneath my skin. It's like, oh god. It's just like, why would you do that? Yeah, it's just like, at what point do you say, okay, they're flossed?
Yeah. Done and done.
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure I got the
up.
steak out of there from last night.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, overall impressions, though, just real quick sum up. This was definitely a fun and refreshing movie. And again, the acting was solid, even between the small little supporting characters that we got between the snowplow guy, the cop, things like that. Even his our main guy, Julian something. You know from Supernatural.
Yeah, Death.
As Death. Yep. Yeah. He I thought actually was the best out of this.
I thought he was the standout
Oh,
too.
for sure.
Sure. But also, I do have to give credit to our girl.
Yeah.
His wife?
The kidnappee.
His patient he takes.
The patient that he kidnaps and everything. She did a fucking phenomenal job in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys haven't checked this movie out, I highly recommend it. And it's on Shudder, so Why not? Go check it out.
And Shudder is hella cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
like $4.99 a month.
It's like
and,
$50 for the year. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Even better. So
Yeah.
Man, and it's also just like direct support of the horror community and most of their stuff. I mean, not everything is going to be as great. Marcia and I just reviewed something that you guys will see coming up soon. It's not all top tier, but there is a just vast, diverse group of things, all kinds of different sort of subgenres of horror for you to check out. And this being a subgenre of a subgenre almost, that was, and also as far as finishing out my overall impressions before we jump into like story, there's some darkly comedic aspects about this.
Sure.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, most notably where they're like realizing their heads are like, you know, like not above water anymore with regards to this situation, and also some of the banter between our death guy from Supernatural and his wife, and there's a dichotomy of that also with the grieving process and just the unwillingness to let go that is really fascinating about this too. So there is some dark humor sprinkled in there, but there's also some very intensive dramatic beats that balance it out. And so not every horror film can actually accomplish that and still make the horror hit without seeming goofy and stupid. This film did that though. I'll definitely give them creds.
Yeah. And there was definitely even a couple of recurring bits that worked out pretty well, and they didn't like go over heavy-handed, like say with the suicide scene and everything with one of our characters and whatnot. It's like, oh yeah, they've been coming back and doing that every 20 minutes and everything. They just got so used to it. It's just like, it's just a thing.
Yeah, and it does almost become, dare I say, darkly comedic with that beat coming back to.
Yeah, they're getting just so desensitized to all the stuff that's going around. Nothing is surprising them anymore.
Right. Exactly. So let's go over the story real quick.
Yeah.
It's such a great story. So you start off, you're introduced to the doctor and the wife, and they kidnap this lady who's pregnant, and then like after they tie her up and everything, they say, oh, I'm sorry we kidnapped you, but we're actually gonna do this thing where we're gonna possess your baby with our dead grandson. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Which is really awesome. So like it's awesome because of the way it unravels itself. So the way they reveal like what,
not the kidnapping and like trying to possess somebody. That's
We're not condoning that behavior. But I mean,
Not today.
Just to get things cleared here.
Yeah, although I must say, I don't think I've seen a horror movie with this specific scenario before.
Right.
No,
which is what I found refreshing.
at all.
Yeah, and because like at first you're like, okay, so how deep does this go? Are they doing this for the devil's sake or whatever? And it's the pure love that they had for their grandson that they lost, and they're trying to get him back, desperately get him back, because they cannot move forward. Like the grandmother cannot move forward without him, and the grandfather cannot move forward because she can't move forward.
Yeah, he seems a little more along for the ride, and he's
doing it
helping,
for her.
he's abating her.
Yeah,
he's
making
doing it
sure
for her.
everything's staying semi-kosher and things aren't going off rails, which unfortunately they do very quickly.
They do, because they don't know what they're really in for.
He's the one going and obtaining these texts that he doesn't even understand how to read on them.
Yeah,
in certain instances.
And real quick on that subject, I just want to point out like his little occult buddy that he with the comb over.
He was a little much of a stereotype.
That was
me.
exactly that
They're
was
like, oh, metalheads are just these evil, sick pieces of shit.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I could definitely say that this movie could have done without, or not necessarily done without,
done better
and written better.
Yeah,
like especially that character, because that character could have been a lot more and a lot more sinister than the comedic kind of loser that we got.
And yet it still felt tropey to me a little.
Well,
bit,
his character definitely.
Him specifically.
Yeah,
I'm not talking.
Yeah, him
as a whole,
specifically. Not the movie in a
written.
whole. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I dug the story. I like the idea of these two grandparents doing everything they could to bring their grandson back and kind of fumble their way through it. It did kind of feel like, like a Supernatural episode in a way. And with that regard, you're going to do everything for the family. And then you also have a little bit of Conjuring in there, like you said, with the quality of the ghost, because they open up a door that, letting the ghosts that are being tormented, the damned, come through, not necessarily the one they're looking for.
Yeah, that's the Pandora's box we
Yeah.
all too often find in these scenarios, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know what's going to come.
Yeah, you
through
open
when
it.
open up that
Right,
door.
Yeah, you
Right,
open a
right.
door, but that door is open for everything.
Mhm.
The other
That's why you
side
don't-
of the
you
door.
don't mess around.
I don't want to
don't
answer.
want to answer it. Throw that
It
back.
never gets old.
Never gets old. But I loved it. What do you guys think about the storyline?
No, most definitely, and like, just a quick overview again. Yeah, it was a refreshing story, just on the reverse exorcism, the occult stuff. There's nothing really that we've already kind of really touched on the story back and forth and everything. Before we go, anything else you really want to throw in?
I mean, it does, if you're going to really analyze and be critical, or at least try to be, and be like, yes, okay, we have seen this essence of, okay, there's a saturation of evil after opening said door, and it's going to affect conveniently certain lesser characters as opposed to major characters, and then you see aspects of bargaining with imprisonment, and not really getting the vibe it's going to end very well, which it kind of doesn't, although we're not going to specify how exactly.
It was satisfying.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will
give it that.
definitely say that it was satisfying, and everyone's roosters came home.
Yeah, it was
Okay with that.
definitely an easy watch. It was an hour and 37 minutes.
Which
so,
is right around the proper time for a
Yeah.
horror
But
film,
especially
like,
with this
right in
movie,
that 90
though,
minute sweet spot.
because like this type of movie, it's really easy for the pacing to drag.
The last movie Marcia and I talked about
Yeah,
had that.
yeah, I know which one you guys are talking about. But no, this one actually had a very well put together pace of, it was slow enough to where you got the intricate details of the story and what they were doing and why they were doing it and everything.
Yep.
And then it sped up enough to get those other little pinpoints of excess characters and the overall story to pulling a Jen Psaki to circle back onto the finalized part of the movie.
Yeah, it had a good balance of character development and scare. So I thought they did that very well. And speaking about the scares, let's talk about the scares,
Because
these-
we've talked about
I'm
a
a
lot of performance stuff
huge-
already.
I'm a huge paranormal fan.
I
I
know.
love the supernatural. I love the paranormal. And I got me some ghosts here, y'all, and they were fantastic. We already talked about the flossing chick. I love the
She,
scene.
though-
My personal favorite.
Yeah, she though stood out of everybody. Although
I
the
like-
that,
I
other
like
one
the
that
guy.
appears in the bed with
yeah
her,
the
that I thought-
saran wrap face dude.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
that
That's what I
guy.
was going to talk about, because that's when you first realize that they opened up the wrong door,
Yeah.
and the
Mispronunciation's a mofo.
yes, and he was did the whole flip backwards and coming in the just his movements. It wasn't all camera tricks. It was definitely the actor and with the makeup and the design and her
She
reaction.
was definitely like a gymnast. And
Yeah,
everything.
contortionist.
Yeah,
like
contortionist,
we saw,
yeah.
like we saw in It, or even that deleted scene in The Exorcist going down the stairs upside down, doing the bridge, man.
Definitely saw the acting come out for all her, the contortionist ghost guy, and the grandmother, because
The wife,
of her
yeah.
her reaction when she saw him was good. It was one of my favorite scenes. Is
Oh.
just watching them all just watching it happen. But yeah, they did.
Well-
The special effects on the ghosts were great.
Oh, most definitely. And even just real quick, I want to touch on that scene that you were talking about when she first saw the contortionist ghost in a sense. When you got Death's character coming up just out of nowhere, it's like, what the fuck's going on? Why are you screaming?
Yeah.
But no, so the design of these ghosts, the demons, whatever you want to call them, they were really well done and they were interesting, because that's the nice thing too. Is even with these ghosts, it was possible enough where you could do a backstory like what they did with the 13 ghosts and everything, with each little individual one of what caused them to be this way, what happened to them.
Even with some of the Conjuring stuff, we've had spin-offs
Yeah.
about
Well,
specific
that's the nice thing though about the
Yeah.
Conjuring. Those were actually based off of
Conjurers, yeah.
those were based off of actual cases from the Warrens. So those were legit, documented demons and ghosts and things like that.
So extensive backstory already exists.
Yeah,
for
they were
certain
just
characters.
somewhat embellished upon everything, like the first Conjuring, with Bathsheba and shit like that. But
Yeah. I mean, I was even impressed with. Now granted, there isn't a lot of CGI or makeup work that went down when there is a possession aspect as opposed to a manifestation of something that's not there, because we do get the bag person and the doing your teeth sort of person, but
the tooth fairy.
Yeah, exactly. We can say something similar. But then there is also just the mannerisms of those characters that get possessed, and then they are gonna end their lives presumably. And those scenes were done in a grisly fashion. A yard attendant, and then another person who was on the scene investigating. And so I thought those were really grisly and effective scenes, and well done both from a performance and from a practical standpoint.
Yeah,
and like,
shocking and cinematography on
and
it too.
Even when you know it's coming, you're just like, no.
It's just like, for me, it was just kind of like, what?
Yeah.
What just happened? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like that trope and everything of like you die and you're stuck kind of in the house thing. Like we've seen that before, but
American
was
Horror
well done.
Story.
yeah, it played off nicely with what they're writing for the show and everything.
Yeah.
For show with the movie, just because they were talking on like the otherworldly influences that were coming about over these other characters that were basically in a sense committing self-harm.
Yeah.
Right.
And in the end and whatnot, which was in turn trapping them in
Yeah.
this limbo.
I did like that one line. The specialist came in and said, he's all like, I'm gonna leave because I don't feel safe here.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
But though, other than that, though, the effects were great because it was, well, I would say almost like 90% practical, and then just a little bit of enhancements, especially
augmentation,
especially the ending scene of our demon's birth, basically, out of one of our characters. Like that was actually done really cool.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have just seen it coming like out his gut,
Right.
and everything, but it was still really cool.
Indeed. Yeah, and sound design and music, I think, is the only
sound
thing that we
design was
haven't
really nice. A lot of it though played with, especially going back to real quick with one of the ghosts, the contortionist.
Bone crunches.
Yeah, the sound design that they use, especially when he's twisting around and moving, that was unnerving because just hearing the ligaments and the joints pop and creak, and it was really cool. And then going back again with our tooth fairy character, you got her just going ham on it and everything. And it's just you could the oh my, it creeps me out just even thinking about it again, just hearing the floss going over like the fake teeth. It's just nope, I'm good. Nope.
No, it was very well done.
Yep.
I don't really have much more to add except for like the sound design really makes it.
And it was shot very, very nicely. It was very pretty set.
The set design was awesome. I mean, you're basically in the house in one room mostly.
But a gorgeous house, man, and I mean just extensive and foreboding, and it's just lurkiness, and also the fact that it's set to the backdrop of the snow. And
I was just about to say that, like, I'm a sucker for like the winter sets in movies and shit like that. So you can always get some gorgeous shots.
I like how they I mean, in a way of absence of sound, right? Because in the beginning, they actually the husband goes outside to see if they can hear her screaming outside.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like we soundproof the room proper.
Yeah,
it's all good. We're on it. Like they really had a checklist and we're sticking with the plan.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't consult the experts before picking a random demon to bring somebody back into life.
And that's where I have to go back to that guy one final time, because he's sitting in his like basement and like he hates his mom, and he's listening to this like doomy black metal sort of thing, and that was back to the stereotype that I was talking about, and the fact that it's not the kindest portrayal of these sort of occultist sort of people.
I would definitely have preferred like if that character was rewritten too, like being like an actual, like even like he was just a librarian that had extensive knowledge and everything, or
listening to some classical music or something. Or
you
maybe
just talked about Niles
sad
from
bastard like emo
Buffy.
rock or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Giles was a badass, all right. But it just that little aspect of just give me like, okay, I understand that realism trope of you're a cultist metalhead dude and everything, but
it's one of my few criticisms.
That's honestly that's really the only gripe I have with this movie is that one character. It could have been written better, and he could have actually been more of a professional character that dabbled in the occult stuff than just some loser high school kid.
Loser kind of.
Yeah. But other than that, I think that's about going to
Yeah.
wrap it up for
Yeah.
our
That'll
review
do
here.
it.
of
Anything for
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah. Don't
Anything
miss it,
for
guys.
Jackson.
Watch it. Like, I mean, like I said, when I first read the synopsis, I was like, I don't think this one's for me. I don't want to watch another demon and baby shit. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. And then
Goddamn demon babies.
damn demon babies everywhere.
Old
You know,
man
but
yells at
it's
cloud like
it's
demon babies.
definitely not that. It's definitely worth to watch and put it in your arsenal. So
The Shudder, y'all. Telling you.
Mhm.
Seriously. Check them out.
But yeah, if you guys want to become a Patreon, link is down in the description box below. Sign up for all these monthly little tier list stuff that we have, monthly boxes for certain tiers, fresh little episodes that aren't available on the normal channel. Other than that, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, get all updates on all of our new videos.
Bling.
Other than that, from the Horror Show, I've been Robert Duell.
Gracias a Jaime Fuego.
and I'm Marcia Parker.
And remember, stay scared.